In the late 16th century, archaeologist Thomas Samuel discovered the route to a previously unexplored city of gold. There he found vast amounts of treasure and caskets buried in the ground which contained gems, gold bars, and the corpses of ancient kings. But there was one casket that could not be opened. Eventually, the casket was purchased at an auction by the entrepreneur Albert Brookman IV for $2 million. His late grandfather's writings described a set of keys that would open the casket. Treasures valuing many millions of dollars lie hidden in this casket. There are 3 keys: the jade statue, the golden wing, and the silver staff. All 3 keys are required to open the casket. To find the keys, Mr. Brookman hired a man feared in the business world for his characteristics of ruthless pursuit and disregard for the law.
Let's be real here for a second. Did you get the impression that this would have been a driving game from the opening cutscene? No, neither did I. Hello everybody, 32-Bit Bailey here. Today we're going to stick with the theme of obscure PlayStation 1 games. This is Felony 1179, a game where you are hired by an evil mastermind who is obsessed with plastic surgery. He has obtained a coffin filled with gold and other valuables. Say what you want, creepy man, but I bet you don't have a copy of Clay Fighter's Sculptor's Cut in there. The coffin won't open until you have acquired the 3 items: a person, a stick, and wings. So you put your shades on, look cool, and speed off in your 1996 Dodge Ram 1500. Wait. Sorry, your Goody Durham. Starting up the game brings you this lovely game screen. Seriously, what is the color choices? It's so unappealing. Diarrhea brown and green menu. Felony 1179 has 2 game modes: Start and Time Trial. Start is story mode, again with the absence of plural words. Setting and Option. Although Option is a complete lie, just like Peak Performance, Setting is correct because there is only one setting, so that gets a pass. In the setting menu, you can adjust the sensitivity of your car controls. This is something really rare in games of this age. Let us commence start. Wow, there is a lot of cars in this game, and a good starting variety as well, from big boys to scoots. There is something for everybody. Each car has their own stats, ranging from horsepower to their fuel capacity. Although you can tell these cars are based on real-life vehicles, they are not licensed. You can tell by the abbreviations of each vehicle: DRM standing for Dodge Ram, VES standing for Vespa, and 318 standing for the BMW 318i. Mission 1 has us stealing the Jade statue. Whoa, okay, that was easy. We're done. Now that you have the statue, you have to collect the dynamite to blow up the gates of some rich dude's house. The whole point of this game is basically bring this to that while causing the most damage as possible. But you're also on a time limit, so you gotta be careful of how much time you want to spend destroying stuff. The vehicle controls really well. Turning, accelerating, and braking feel legit. The damage model is also really good. But, here's the first issue. When you hit a destructible object, your car turns into jello and bounces everywhere. And if that wasn't bad enough, the camera goes into the cinematic mode. Not bad when you hit 1 or 2 things, but what happens if you get stuck in an infinite loop of crashing, like this?
That's it. It's not my lucky day.
Game over.
You see, the physics and collision in this game are bad. So bad, in fact, the game has a stuck recovery feature. I found myself clipping through cars, walls, and other objects in the game. Very aggravating in general, but when you're timed, it just adds a whole other layer of stress. Each car has a damage limit and a fuel limit. The fuel limit does not make a difference whatsoever. I played this game for over an hour and a half and never reached the quarter tank. There's a lot of objects to crash into, which can be good and bad depending on what you're driving. Beach huts, food carts, gas stations. If you can see it, you can hit it. Well, almost all of it. You can't run over the people in this game, which does make sense seeing as this game is rated KA. The way that the people run away from you in this game is the best. It's like everybody's a cardboard cutout. It's got that 90s cheesy charm to it, and I love it. Each level has multiple paths, making the game feel a little less linear, but it does not add any replayability, which is bad, especially for this game. More on that later. Mission 2, Seaside. Hit a limo and steal the golden wings and then make it to the other side of the map. Talking about maps, this game actually gives you a mini-map, and it's helpful. Did you hear that, Twisted Metal? Fuck. One thing I don't like is the inconsistency of the levels. Cops only appear once in the game, the speed trap only appears once. This is stupid. While you have other games overusing gameplay mechanics, this game underuses them. Something really cool about this game that I hated as a kid is that when you're choosing a car, some only have a manual or automatic transmission, adding an extra layer of depth to choosing the right car for the right job. Mission 3. Steal the silver staff and use the phone to call the helicopter. Hey, I didn't know you could call people like that.
Call home? Call home?
Calling home.
You bitch!
This is the worst level so far. The road is way too skinny to drive anything. I mean, it doesn't help that I picked the bus, but hey, if they didn't want me to drive the bus, they shouldn't have gave me the bus. Also, you think you could have fixed the game's camera to accommodate what I'm driving? I can't see shit. Fine. I'll take something smaller.
Ready.
You know what I really like about this level? It takes place in France, right? Well, either the developers didn't care, or they were unaware that not everything in French starts with le. All the buildings have le in front of them. Le food, le place, le shit. This level has the most paths to choose from, including a broken bridge to jump over, driving in an underground subway, and going through a maze. The maze is kinda pointless considering they give you a mini-map, but we'll roll with it. Once you pick up Stick, you are ready to finish the level. This game is not easy. This level took at least 5 tries to pass, and about 2 tries on the other levels. But I finally passed it! And you are awarded with another cutscene. Creepy Plastic Man proceeds to place the 3 objects you have collected in the casket, which allows him to rip it open. He then orgasms to all the gold and moves his hands in a very Italian way. While in mid-climax, that's the studio's name too, he fucking dies. What the fuck? How is this KA? But it goes another step further. Your character enjoys this shit. He fucking stands there like, yeah, I like melty men. You then take the coffin with all the gold and fuck off. Because it doesn't affect you for plot reasons, obviously. And roll credits. What? That's it. 3 levels. 3 whole levels and the game is done. Why even include a story if it's going to be that short? Also, what about all the other cars I haven't unlocked? Well, it turns out you have to replay the game over and over and over and over. Another thing I didn't talk about is the music. Not that great. It's just the same song over and over again with slight altercations to the beat. It feels lazy and tacked on. The sound effects are not awful quality-wise, but the ones they use are questionable. For example, why do inanimate objects scream? Or how when the woman screams, it sounds more of a sensual moan rather than, holy Christ, this guy's gonna fucking kill me! In the end credits scene, that you are forced to watch by the way, they tell us that this game is called Runabout in Japan, which does explain the license plate at the start of the game. It also helps with research. And oh my god, this game has sequels. Enough of them too. Runabout 2, Super Runabout San Francisco, Runabout 3 Neo Age, and Runabout 3D Drive Impossible, with the last game coming out in 2012. Was this game really that popular? I don't know how to respond to this, so I'm just gonna end the video right here. Runabout, or Felony 1179, gets 30 out of 100. Its short, fucked up campaign, lack of replayability, generic music, questionable sound choices, and awful collision physics shadow the good controls and decent car selection.